Dear colleagues and friends, it is with a feeling of great honor and humble that I'm standing here today on behalf of the many thousands of clinical engineers around the world. It is my pleasure to initiate this special day of celebration of the important service to world healthcare delivery that each and every clinical engineer is delivering each and every day. This is truly a dream come true. First, because of the many successes that we have achieved. And secondary, because we learn how to work together as a team. Over the past 2 years, we collaborated, we planned, we argued, and got into agreements. And together, we know that we can do it better. This is a major achievement, and that's what I want to send to you today. This is a special day for clinical engineering profession. There are many individuals that deserve thanks. However, today I just want to take a small moment to recognize some individuals that work above and beyond the call of duty. And I would like to start with Professor Yadin, Tom Judd, the CED Chairman, Dr. Ernesto Yadenza, from the World Health Organization, Adriana Velasquez, the IFMBE President, Professor James Goh, and from the past President of EU PESEM, Professor Herbert Voigt. Also Jim Ware, Shona Malali, Professor Said Khalil from Brazil, and from the Hangzhou Children's Hospital, Zheng Kon, Professor Lorenzo Leogrande from Italy, and from CMP, Mr. Jim Dong. There are so many more individuals that deserve to be recognized, and thank them for what we're doing here today. However, I know that we developed this relationship and that we have this team of people working together, and we will have opportunity to work on additional projects in the future together. You know, the clinical engineering profession over the past 15 years, especially here in China, has evolved in a way that can serve as a model to how implementing a vision of a society and productive activity can become a reality. So it's perfectly appropriate for this part of the world to serve as a stage as well as a facilitator for this event, and to allow us to bring together an effort of 2 years into today's celebration. We decided 2 years ago to assemble the clinical engineering leaders of the world into what became to known as the first International Clinical Engineering and Health Technology Management Congress in Hangzhou, China, back in October 2015. Then the following day, on October 21st, we set up a Clinical Engineering Summit Day where we dedicated our time to search those subjects that are presenting common challenges to clinical engineering everywhere. And we wanted to find out if we can develop a strategy and identify an action plan where we can move further towards addressing those challenges. There are many different areas that we discussed. Many different topics came up. However, 2 of them came up very clear as the most common and the most troubling sum for our profession. The first one was the lack of recognition for the profession, and the second one was the lack of specific academic program to facilitate adequate entry into our profession, as well as for lifelong education of clinical engineers who are already in the field and would like to move ahead in their career. So we created an action plan to begin to work on this project and to address those specifically 2 subjects: to promote recognition for our profession we decided to collect and disseminate success stories. We sent messages around the world and said, are you aware of any successes in your profession that influence and impact positively the delivery of care in your region? And if you do, can you summarize that and provide us evidence of the outcome? We were surprised to see that within 5 months, we received more than 150 success stories from over 90 different countries. Whoa! What a great reason to celebrate. There is no question that this day in Hangzhou was selected for this reason. We selected October 21st as the day to recognize from that point on the global clinical engineer anywhere in the world. We continue to work on our solution, and we published a white paper that called Health Technology Resources, containing all those success stories with the categories of where do they fit within the healthcare delivery system and how did they actually impacted the healthcare delivery. And we took that white paper and delivered it to Ministry of Health of World Health Organization member country that congregated in Geneva, Switzerland in May last year. We delivered a success story to Ministry of Health in those countries. Can you imagine that we have the voice that directly addresses the policymaker level in different countries around the world? We were not able to do it previously, but we did it now. Then we asked the clinical engineering colleagues for additional material. Can you send us photographs, interviews with leaders in your field? Can you send us video clips showing what is it that you do every day in your job? And collecting all this material, we created a website and posted all this information. And now today, as we are going to continue the celebration for the rest of the day, we're going to be moving from region to region around the world. And we virtually will take the clinical engineering torch and we'll move it from one region to another. So each region will have an opportunity to tell their story, to tell their success and share it with us. As an example, in Africa this week, the first inauguration conference of the West African Community of Biomedical Engineers and the African Federation of Biomedical Engineering, where certification in clinical engineering and clinical engineering education has been discussed, has taken place. It took place in Abuja, Nigeria. Great success. Congratulations to our colleagues and members in Africa. But other regions in the world have also stories to tell. From Australia and the UK, from China to Brazil, from India to Italy, from Mexico to the US, from Ethiopia to Japan, and from Peru to Argentina. We have a very full day of interesting material, and I know that you will learn a lot and enjoy it once you're listening in on the different programs as we move throughout the day. After we work on the white paper and the success story, we continue to work on promoting the recognition for our profession. And we next work with our World Health Organization colleagues, Adriana Velasquez, and with our colleagues in Europe to approach the International Labour Organization and ask them to include biomedical engineering title in the description of jobs of work teams. Once this is accepted, that means that the Ministry of Health have to support positions in that title. We were successful. We got the biomedical engineering title now included within the group of Work Health Division. And next, we will continue to work on introducing the clinical engineering title to that. Today, critical dependence on technology make this the perfect time to get into the clinical engineering field. The dependence of health, rehabilitation and wellness programs on delivering the services on technological tool has never been higher than now. So it makes sense, therefore, that this critical dependence will be appropriately managed and serviced by competent clinical engineers, by people who understand what is it that the technology should be doing, where the risk is may be present, and how to mitigate and reduce it. You know, some people learn history, other people read and watch history, but friends, today clinical engineering has made history by initiating the Global Clinical Engineering Day. We have so many reasons to celebrate it. With the greeting and the endorsement of the IFMBE Clinical Engineering Division, we will pass today the clinical engineering torch between those regions. And in each region, we will have two critical positions, a narrator and a responder. The narrators will tell a story in their local language of what is the program presenting. They will introduce interviews, they will have video clips, and they will have PowerPoint presentation about the state of clinical engineering and how much we moved ahead and made progress. The second position is that of the narrator. The narrator responsibility will be to respond to questions and comment on the chat room that will be open in each region. You can submit questions, comment, and the narrator responsibility will be in real time to respond to those comments. This is significant achievement to be able to do that. And once again, I thank all those who help us to get to this day and make sure that the logistics are working. This is a great concept for clinical engineering all over the world to get together and unite. And this is a great idea of having celebration to mark how well and how much progress we are making. So let's make sure that together we will continue to make it better for all patients who is now or in the future will need safe, effective, integrated, and appropriate and secure care. I thank you all for the wonderful job you do, and I encourage you to join and watch the videos online, and I'm sure that if you do, you will become just like me, a believer. You will see why we are so happy on our achievement today. So from Beijing, China, I'm humbly announced, let the celebration begin, and let us carry the torch to our next destination. Thank you, friends. From China, signing on, Yadin David.